You are watching George Schlacek,
the one and only.
Hello and welcome. I think I mentioned in some of my previous videos that I'm building a bicycle from scratch. I already have a frame that I restored and repainted, and now I'm trying to get all the rest of the parts together like one bit at a time. It's challenging. Of course, every bicycle needs two wheels. Well, I have one front wheel that is still missing a tube and a tire, and I have some parts that could be useful to build a rear wheel. I'm a decent bike mechanic, but when it comes to wheel building, I'm a novice. And to be honest with you, sometimes that really bothers me because it's such a valuable skill. Like with many other things, I think the remedy is just to get started on it, screw up here and there, and learn. Deal with problems as they pop up. Well, this is part one of my wheel building safari. And I think you might find it interesting, especially if you're trying to build your own wheel or you're working on a project. Now you can learn from my mistakes and you'll be ahead of the game. Enjoy.
I'm here outside in my backyard. I'm building a bicycle, and so far I only have a front wheel for that bike. That's not enough, I know. Now for the rear wheel, I got parts though. I got this fantastic Shimano 105 hub. The width is 126, I think. Anyways, it fits the frame that I got. I got 36 spokes. About half of them are 300 millimeters, and the other half, they are 302. That's because on the rear wheel, we have a drive side and a non-drive side. So on the non-drive side, the spokes have to be slightly longer because of it's asymmetrical. The rim I have is a steel rim from probably the 1970s or 80s, but it's in good shape. And some of you might laugh at me for using a steel rim to buy a road bike these days. Well, I tell you, reason number one is I have it. It costs me nothing. Reason number two, I get to build a wheel out of it, which for me is something new and exciting. It's something I don't usually do. However, you can see that my stuff is a little bit on the filthy side. See this hub? It's a good quality hub with the skewer axle Campagnolo. Man, yeah, really good stuff. But it needs to be cleaned up to do a serious job. I also will open it up, repack the bearings, like make it really like new. Once everything is cleaned up, I'll be building my wheel. So I'll be recording all that. Then I'm going to share it with you. That's going to be part of my bike building safari. Yeah, you could probably call it that. And if I screw up, you know what kind of stuff to avoid. It's going to help you either way. See, I'm starting off with the rim. This is a beautiful rim. It's new. It's like new. And I tell you what I like about the steel rims. When they lose their shape, say you hit a big bump or something, they are more likely to bounce back to their original shape. That's advantage number one. But that's not all there is. To have more weight on the outside of the wheel, actually get some momentum that'll make it easier to maintain a certain speed. So if you're on a level road and you're going pretty fast, you can maintain a high speed almost without any effort whatsoever. That's what I like about steel rims. It's a budget thing as well. I mean, I have these wheels. They don't cost me anything right now. And if ever I feel the need to replace these wheels, I can always do that so easily later on. I don't know if you can see that from there, but look, this is where I polished it. And then over here is where I didn't. So I'm just going to go around this whole rim, and this is going to look like a brand new one. And honestly, I like the look of chrome way better than the look of some kind of aluminum that has perhaps stickers on it or perhaps not. But I mean, you know what I'm talking about. A polished chrome rim looks sharp. The bike's going to come together nicely and it's going to look like jewelry. That's not the intention though. The intention is to build a bike that I enjoy riding. Right here it looks like brand new metal. Beautiful. There was a spot where I was polishing it and it didn't seem to, yeah, right there, it's pitted. Alright, what I have here, spray 9. It says it's biodegradable and caution it's a mild irritant. I think it's mildly acidic. That is good because I have aluminum foil. I'm spraying this on there where my rust is. Where did I? Yeah, right here. I'm going to spray this. And then I'm going to rub it with this aluminum foil. And that should get rid of all the pitting. See, this is just from rubbing it with the aluminum and the spray 9. Awesome. What I'm doing at first is I'm just cleaning off the outside. WD-40 is a perfect solvent to get all this grease off. Yeah, it's coming off. I have to rub a little harder because it's a lot of grime on there, but it comes off. I want this clean before I open it up. So the less contaminants I get in there, the easier it is for me to make this like brand new perfect. This hub has a lot of life left in it. It was taken off a bike that for one reason or another was not worth fixing. Probably a broken frame or something like that. So we got the outside of this looking pretty nice. I got a whole bunch of stuff here that doesn't really need to be here. It's just because I had to put something on my rags so they don't fly away, because we are in Alberta where the weather is always kind of crazy. It's not that bad today. It's actually a beautiful day, but it's still windy. Here's the hub. I cleaned off only the outside so far. You can see that there's one side that has a whole bunch of spacers on it. That's the drive side, because we're going to put a freewheel on there. The other side only has a cone and a lock nut. This is the side where I'm going to take it off from. I've got here a 17mm wrench, a regular one, and a 15mm cone wrench. And that's what I need to open this up. I got a bin here so we can put all the parts in there. We won't lose any ball bearings. Cone wrench, 15mm. There, it fits. This is a 17mm. I like to use this side. Got a better grip on there. And now, see? The lock nut's already loosened. The rest I can do by hand. See, this is the cone. I don't know if that's visible there. You gotta unscrew it completely. See how this is shaped? There's a shiny part. This is the surface area the ball bearings ride on. They call it the race. There's another race inside the hub. You cannot really see that very well because we have a dust cap on here that I need to take off before I can remove these ball bearings. And I have to be careful because I don't think I have any new ball bearings on hand. I'm hoping to reuse the same ones. Right now I'm pulling out the axle and the ball bearings are already coming out. I'm just going to let them drop into the bin. I'll be wiping those, and if they're really shiny then they're okay. If they're kind of dull, then I know that they should probably be changed. They have some wear and tear on them, so then I won't use them. But yeah, right now I am taking off these dust seals. I'm starting with the drive side, because it's a flat one. Now, can you see that? See, I just go around carefully prying this out. I don't really want to bend this, because if I do, then it'll be less effective. Right now it's a pretty good seal. The other side, this one's a little bit tougher, but there, you see? Got this out too. And be careful not to lose any bearings. And now we got a bunch of grease there that's still there, but I can see that overall this hub is in good shape. I'll clean this up, put new grease in there, either the same ones or brand new ball bearings in there, but see how nice and clean this race looks? It's like new. It's most important that this is clean. Well, I'm going to wipe the cone. Once again, I need to make sure that, see where the shiny part is. That's what I have to make sure that there's no pitting on it. See this ball bearing? I don't like the way it looks. It's not shiny. Ball bearings cost next to nothing. So I cleaned up this hub really good. Everything is in perfect shape except for my ball bearings that I don't like. They are dull looking, so I would rather replace them. See what I got? Brand new set of ball bearings. Now if you compare these to the old ones, you can see right away there's a difference. See how the old one is kind of dull? The new ones are nice and shiny. That means the surface that they work on is much smoother. See, I just take a bit of grease, put it on here, and I start putting some grease inside there. Just spread it evenly, kind of like peanut butter on a sandwich. I want the whole race to be covered, so when I put my ball bearings there, they will stay there without me having to put everything back together. I should be able to put about 9 ball bearings on each side. See how the screwdriver picks up my bearings? So I set them into the grease like so, and I go all around the race inside there. Put bearing after bearing until it's all in there, till I can't get no more. See, this is how it looks. This shows you really well where the grease goes, and see, then the dust seal goes in there like that. I just kind of push it in there with my fingers. See? Alright, so I did this side too. See, it's got the grease in it. I put a light coat of grease on the cone. This is the drive side, that's where all the spacers go. So I got that in. Okay, now that I have this cone on there, I put the washer that goes there. This lock nut has knurls on one side. That's the side that goes on the outside. This is what helps keep it inside the dropouts. Turns easily enough. I cannot really tell if there's going to be any play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold cone with my cone wrench. I'm going to take my 17 mil, tighten the lock nut. Then I'm going to try and see if this still turns easily. Oh, it turns beautifully. It may also have a little bit of play. I can adjust this, and it's a trial and error kind of adjustment. You don't want to have play, but you also don't want there to be too much resistance. It's a little bit more. There, I retighten this, but this is a preliminary adjustment. Once I build my wheel and I install this into a wheel, then it'll be much easier to determine if this adjustment is correct. Right now, this turns really nice. There's no play, so I think my hub is in top shape. I'll show you close up. See, this is what it looks like. I can turn it with absolutely minimal effort. So we got a brand new hub. Can't wait to build a wheel now. Alright, I'm going to start with this hole. It's just one beside the valve stem hole, right there. Shorter ones are for the drive side, so I'm going to pick a hole. Now I'm going to put this spoke from the outside, no, from the inside out. From the inside out, that's the difference. And I'm going to go over the first one, the second one, and the third one. I'll go like this. See? 1, 2, 3.
Now I'm working my way. This way.
The wheel building for tonight ends here. I have a situation going on. I need to get more spokes, and I probably need to get longer nipples. I don't think my spokes are too short. See, I used a spoke length calculator to figure this out, so I have some confidence in those values. So I'll be back here in a few days, and join me for that. Make sure you're subscribed, and we're going to learn this together.
Since recording that last part, I have learned a few things. See, the problem I ran into had nothing to do with needing longer nipples. It was actually simply that the spokes were too short, and how that happened is because I made an error when I measured the rim diameter. In the next video, I will demonstrate exactly how to measure the effective rim diameter and what other measurements you need to figure out the correct length for your spokes. And then hopefully I'll be able to build my wheel. In the meantime, if this interests you, check out Bill Mold's channel and the video that'll pop up on the screen. This guy is a pro when it comes to wheel building, not a beginner like myself. He explains in detail and why it is essential to have spokes that are the correct length. I'd still like you to check out my other videos though, you might enjoy them. Ta-da!